This segment's going to cover Windows File Explorer. That's one of the more complicated pieces of Windows, and due to that, you can do a lot with it. This is how you maintain everything that you've created on your computer and files that you may have gotten from other people or downloaded. It's the organizational program on Windows. Now, you can find it in several ways. Again, it's automatically placed on your taskbar when you first get your computer. However, you can also click into the search bar or open Windows and just start typing for searching. And you can look for File Explorer, or you can look for this PC. They're both the same thing. Whichever one you remember better will open File Explorer up. Now you see when we open up File Explorer, its first page gives you a view of your computer layout on the top level, meaning your computer holds a hard drive listed here. It holds a second drive, which is for recovery, listed here. If you have a DVD or CD player inside, it'll show you that also. Plus, if you put any USB drives into it, they'll also show up. Now, on the right side of your content, on the left side is pretty much an outline. Anything that you highlight over here on the left, if I click on Documents, on the right it shows you a list of what is in those documents. And taking a look at this, we can see that there are these yellow file listings. Those are folders. We have one file listing here with a different icon. It's not a yellow icon. Depending on the type of file, this icon will change. But this is a file item. File items are the items that you create on your computer. Whether you're using it for Word, Excel, pictures, videos, whatever, you're going to create a file on your computer and you're going to give it a name that is meaningful to you. And in the last segment, I created a test document in Word. That's why this is called This is a Test. I can change that name if I want to, either by doing a very slow double click. It's highlighted and I can change it, or I can right click on it and I can choose rename. Now, as we learned in our right click segment, this right click gives us access to a lot of functions that we can do with this file. We can cut it so we can move it somewhere else. We can copy it so we can copy it to another location or in perhaps another drive. We can choose what to open it with. We can choose to open it with the default file. Every file that is on your computer has a default program that will open it up. When you click on open or when you double click, it just uses the default program. For instance, this file is a Word file, but there are other programs that it could be opened with. For instance, there's a free program called LibreOffice, another one called Apache OpenOffice. They will also open up Word documents. If it's a very simple Word document, it could be opened in Word, possibly WordPad, or other simple Word programs that you can find on the internet. So you could right-click and choose to open with to use a different program. You can just go directly to print from this right-click menu. You can also rename it, or you can delete it. If we look at properties, the properties tells us what that file holds. For instance, it tells us how big it is on the disk. 11 KB is very small. A lot of things you see nowadays are in MBs, megabytes, as opposed to KBs, which is kilobytes. It tells you when it was created, when it was modified, when it was last accessed. Whether it's a read-only, which means you can open it up and look at it, but you can't change it, or whether it's hidden, which means we wouldn't even see it on the file list. As we go down the organizational list on the left, we can see that this top level here is quick access. That means stuff that you're going to go to all the time, such as your downloads of documents, your desktop, or stuff that you've recently accessed. And as we go down the list, we have some what's called libraries down here. Some of these are the same as what you see up top because these libraries are the most commonly accessed items, so they're in quick access as well as down here in the libraries. But as we go on down these library listings, we find local disk, that's your hard drive and everything on it. It has a letter designation. Each hard drive in your computer has a letter designation. So if we open up the local disk, we can see a bunch of different folders. And we can open up any one of those folders to see what's in it. For instance, we have a lot of program files. This lists some of the programs that are on your computer. This is where they're stored. If I go back, I can use these arrows up here to navigate. I can go up one level or I can go back to where I was. Now, if I open up my documents, I can see that I have this one file and then I have these other folders. If I open up this folder here, I double click it to open, then I can see everything that's in that folder. You can see there's all kinds of different things in this folder. Over here, one of these columns tells us by type what those files are. If we know what these types mean, then we know what it is. For instance, some types give you the program name that opens it. These up here are spreadsheets, so Microsoft Excel will open it, so it's listed as a Microsoft Excel worksheet. Down here are documents from Word, listed as Microsoft Word document. Now these JPG files, those are picture files. What's called a paint program will typically open those. One is not assigned to it specifically, so we just see JPG file instead of the name of the program. Same thing with the video file. This MP4 is a video file. That's the type of file. If we had a program assigned to it, then it would tell us. So you have your organizational list over here. You can get into different parts of your computer which store programs or files in them, depending on where you're at. I'm going to end this segment here, and we'll pick up some more on the next segment.